This is video 2 in a series of videos for the End Area Volume Tool Rock Excavation exercise. We're on step number 7. It calls for us to create a new 2D Power GEOPAK file and name it J5U0441G underscore corridors.dgn. So I'll go to the File pull down, select the new option, No Wizard. Again, I'm wanting a 2D file, and the source seed file is set up to default to 2D, so I'm okay. It inputs our name up here. We want to change that to what we have in the exercise, which is J5U0441G underscore corridors.dgn, and do not forget the .dgn. We will copy and paste that in the file name area, and I'll just give it a description of corridors. Once I have my name and file name filled out, I can hit the OK button, and it will create a brand new file after I check in the previous file I was in. Step 8 calls for us to reference in the following files. So we'll go to our reference dialog, which is the top tool set banner. Hit the references, and I'll go to the tools pull down and attach. I want to verify and make sure that I'm in the right data folder, which I'm using District CAD Design CAD User Col J5U0441G data folder. So once I'm in here, I can pick a couple of files. I need to bring in the civil geometry and the terrain existing. So I will select civil geometry, hold the control key down, and I will select the terrain existing and simply use the add button in the middle of the dialog. Once they're in the selected documents input field, all you need to do is hit the OK button. You're going to get another dialog that comes up where you can modify some information. I want them to come across with the default model, so there's nothing I really want to change, so I will hit OK. Then I'll get the dialog for the second reference file, and again I'll go with the default settings and hit OK. I'll do a fit view in my zoom tools, and now I can see I have a terrain model and I have my horizontal information. So I'll close out the reference dialog, and I'm going to zoom in and hit the F4 key on my keyboard to clear out any tools that I have. Step number 9 says set the Route 179 existing ground terrain as the active terrain using the heads-up prompts. So all you have to do is select the terrain, get your heads-up display. That option is the second icon on the heads-up display. It's set as active terrain model. So we'll select that. What that's going to do for us is allow us to, when we place corridors out here, to actually put our templates in, and when our templates are in there we have end conditions, and these end conditions will now solve. They'll go out and seek ground. If you place a template in here and all you get is pavement or shoulders and no end conditions, no fill slopes, no ditches, that would be a clue to turn on your active terrain. Okay, that was step 9. Step 10 says using the Create Template tool, open the template library located in our data folder. So I will go to the Tasks Tools group. These tools are located in the Corridor Modeling Tools. And this is the second to last icon on the top toolbar, and it's called Create Template. Once I select it, I will wait for the tool to open. The tool is open, and when it opens for the first time you're in a project, it will go to the default location of our T drive. We can't write to that T drive, so what we want to do is open up the one that we have in our job folder. So we can do a File, Open from the Create Template dialog, and we can navigate going to our District CAD, Design, CAD User, Cole County, J5U0441G, our data folder, and in our data folder there should be a J5U0441G ITL. So I'm looking for that. I'll select it and I'll hit open. When I open it up, there's a job folder in there, and in there we have two different templates. We have a 4-lane asphalt with type C barrier, and we also have a benching template that we will talk about in a later video. I want the 4-lane asphalt with type C barrier, so I can see it's selected. In the current template, it has that information for me, 4-lane asphalt with type C barrier, and I can see the template in my edit window. Okay, so that's all I wanted to do, is make sure I had that template. It's in here. This template's just a generic template. I'm going to take off the template of the point names, and you can see we have pavement, shoulder. We actually have a rock fill base to it, a fill slope, a ditch. It's a pretty simple template. So I have it. That's what we need to have. I'm going to go ahead and close the template library. And of course, it's going to go back to ProjectWise for us. It's kind of a little feature. I want to go back to Microstation. And in Microstation, we've just did step 4 or step 11. So now we're on step 12. And it says create a corridor named Route 179 using the Route 179 horizontal alignment and the Route 179 proposed vertical alignment. Okay, to do that, to create a corridor, we'll go to our task tool groups again. We'll go down to our corridor modeling, and on the top row, the very first icon, there is a create corridor option. When you select it, it's going to ask us to locate a corridor baseline on our cursor. You'll also notice there's a dialog that comes along with this. You could use a pull down and pick your profile element, but first thing we need to do is follow the heads up prompts. Locate corridor baseline. Once you pick it, it says locate profile or reset for active profile. When we created this horizontal geometry, we brought across a Route 179 proposed profile to go along with that horizontal alignment. So, and it is active when you bring it across. So we're going to go ahead and right click to accept that profile that goes along with this. It's wanting a corridor name, and in step 12 it tells us we want to name it Route 179. So we'll just simply input that in the field. And once you accept that or hit the enter key, it's going to progress to the next operation, which is create template drop. Our heads-up display is asking us to choose a template. So what I like to do is I like to hit the little button with the 3 dots for the template, and that way I can navigate out to my ITL, which is the one we just attached, and I can open it up and go to the job and then pick the template that I want to actually place out there. Sometimes when you're select this tool, it'll come up with the appropriate template name and everything because you were just in there. But I've had issues with that before, so to avoid issues, I like to go out to the template library itself, pick it, hit the OK button. It's on my cursor. I'll go ahead and accept that information. We're going to do a start and stop station. In step 13, it says we are going to use a 62 plus 00. So I'll hit the enter key to lock that value in. If I zoom out and in, you can see where that's going to start. I'll go ahead and accept it. And then my end station is going to be 138 plus 00. I'll accept that. It locks it in at 138, which is further down our project. It's locked in, you can see by the padlock on the heads-up display. We'll go ahead and accept that. And then it's asking for a drop interval. Now, drop intervals, how much distance we want between each template drop. And normally we use 25 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and use that 25 feet just by left-clicking that information. There's also a minimum transition before drop, meaning if we had two different types of templates, we would want a transition from one to the other. We have much better ways of doing it using parametric constraints, which is in another chapter in Road 2. So we will go with the minimum transition before drop of 0. We will also do it for the after drop of 0. We can give it a description if you'd like. I'm going to leave mine blank and just accept it. It's going to process, and it's ready to place templates again. We're finished. I'm going to go ahead and hit the F4 key to clear out the tool, and you can see in the background that we've got our project and templates have been created. You can also notice that the template drop that's out there, or the corridor, is green, meaning that our design stage is set up for preliminary. So the preliminary design stage is set up for 10 times our spacing. So where we have straightaways and flats, our template drop will be multiplied by 25, giving us 250-foot template drops. Around curves and vertical curves, it will densify, and you'll get them much closer. But that's the design stage we're going to go with is preliminary, and that's on a note of 12 as well. That completes step number 13, and that completes video number 2 of the End Area Volume Tool.